everybody, this is the Vikstrand. When your title is the best thing about the entire movie, you got problems. But taste the title for a second, no pun intended. Cannibal Apocalypse. It just sounds so badass and epic and amazing. Unfortunately, none of those things, represents what this movie is about. This is a pretty shitty movie. Let's find out why, shall we? This is Cannibal Apocalypse. John Saxon plays a Vietnam veteran who has minor issues with his mental health, and his wife is a little worried about him. The girl next door is kind of attracted to him. I don't know why. I have seen farm animals more attractive than John Saxon, but to each their own, I suppose. Then he gets a phone call from a buddy of his that they served together in Vietnam, and he has just been released from a psychic ward, and he goes off. He goes into a movie theater and he attacks a woman and bites her. And you're thinking to yourself, why is he attacking this woman? And what's going on here? And then he runs away to a flea market, and there is this standoff with the police and stuff like that. Up until this point, I was very intrigued because I had no idea where this movie was going. Unfortunately, the second half of this movie is really, really bad. I'm not going to spoil anything else. A little bit of a spoiler might be, attached to the title of this movie, but let's just say that whatever I'd hope was going to happen in the second half of this movie did not happen. I hope we were going to spend more time in Vietnam, but we do not, and this movie more resembles a Lucio Fulci movie, and Antonio Margretti, you're not Lucio Fulci. In short, this movie is bad. It has clunky dialogue, it is ill written, it is badly acted, and it looks really cheap. And there are, small little moments here and there where, there are some tension to it, but you're apathetic to the whole thing. It just goes on and on and on, and you're just more and more bored. Sure, there is some great violence, and sure, there is some great gore in this one, and sure, you want to see where it is going, but I knew when a half of the movie had, played out, and they revealed what the plot of this movie basically was, and I was just, oh, I think I know exactly where we're going, and if I know exactly where we're going, you got problems. In the end, they squashed the whole thing with what I would consider a modern supernatural horror movie ending, aka the kiss of death for any movie. I didn't know they were doing shit like that back in 1980, but I don't know. The characters are bad, the setup is bad, the logic to this movie is stupid, this movie is boring, this movie is dumb, this movie is terribly written, this movie is terribly directed, and it's very predictable, and this is a movie that you should definitely skip. If you're watching this movie to, get a classic cannibal movie like Cannibal Holocaust or Cannibal Ferox or something like that, you will not get it. This is not that type of a cannibal movie, if I will say that at least. And let's face it, John Saxon isn't exactly that charismatic or that talented, but for some reason has been in some, pretty big movies. He was in Enter the Dragon and survived the whole thing for reasons that will remain unclear. He was in A Nightmare on Elm Street for reasons that will remain unclear, but I don't know, maybe he has, pictures of somebody with a donkey or something like that. Anyway, I will skip this movie. There is one sequence in this movie that is really, really good. And that is the standoff in the flea market, mostly because they didn't have any music whatsoever. This sequence alone pulls this movie up from the absolute gutter, and I'm gonna have to actually give this movie 17 points. Apart from that sequence, most of the other things in this movie kind of sucks, including the terrible flashback sequence to Vietnam. Ooh, that looked rough. Can you come up with a cooler title than Cannibal Apocalypse? Comment below and I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.